Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to this episode of Cheap vs. Expensive. I'm Jimbo, and today we're going to be talking about two of the hottest products of 2019. How do I know? Well, both the videos that I did on each one of these products individually did extremely well. So first up on the cheap side, we have this. This is Maguairs Hybrid Ceramic Wax. It's ceramic made easy. Production and durability beyond conventional wax. Simple spray on, rinse off, and dry. We know that according to step 4, it does say that you need to actually wipe in the initial application. So we have that on the cheap side. This could be picked up anywhere from about $15 to $25 depending on where you're getting it for this 26 ounces. So relatively inexpensive, especially to step into that ceramic realm. On the expensive side, we have this. This is Adam's ceramic spray, or ceramic spray coating, and this 8-ounce bottle was $40, and they have a 16-ounce option at $80. So quite a big difference between the two, if you don't say so myself. You get the Maguairs, you get 10 ounces extra than the $80 bottle for about 12. They are currently, or they were at the time of this video recording, rebates on the Maguairs, so you could check that out if possible. But what I want to see between these two products is there different water behavior between the two? Does the Maguairs bead water more than the Adams, or vice versa? And then of course we're going to do the durability test. Which one holds up longer? Now, because I did the Adams and they claim to be 9H with that one, on the test panel, what I wanted to make sure I did, and I'll show you right here, is that I wanted to make sure I had the panel completely bare of any waxes, coatings, sealants, anything. So I took a couple extra measures. I hit it with the Flex Force Rotation DA with a microfiber pad and some compound, and compounded the whole panel, as you can see here. And then even after that, I went a couple steps further, and I again used G-Technic panel wipe and removed any waxes. It's basically an alcohol. I removed any waxes and sealants. Then I created in the middle 2 tape lines, and down the middle, that's going to be my control section in the middle there. And then on the right hand side, I'm going to apply the Adams. On the left hand side, I'm going to apply the Maguairs. And when I apply the Maguairs, I'm going to follow step 4, which actually has you rub in the product. And then of course with Adams, I'm going to apply it. I'm going to spray it into the towel. That's how they show it. Last time I applied it on the panel, I haven't seen any difference in the application, but for this one, I'm going to spray it on the towel. As we know from previous videos, it doesn't harden in the towel, so I don't have to worry about that. Hasn't hardened in the sprayer. And then we're gonna test it out, see what it's like. So here we go. So after I apply the coatings to their respective sides, I'm also going to give a 72-hour cure time for this process. Now, the Maguairs, they do not say anything about a cure time, and the Adams one they're a little vague. I've watched a few of their videos and they're a little vague on the exact cure time. So I thought for good measure, I'm going to give it 3 days, full cure time. It's going to be sitting indoors, not going to be exposed to any elements or wind or anything. It's going to simply set. And the reason why I picked 3 days is because I feel like that's an accurate, 7 full days seems too extreme. 24 hours is probably a little bit more realistic, but I want to go beyond that, so I'm going to let it fully cure for 3 days, and then I will shoot this video, or actually I'll move on to the next segment here. So for you, it'll be 2 seconds, and for me it'll be a few days. So let's see how well these products hold up. Let's see if one beads differently than the other, which I hope it does. And let's get right into it. Before we get started with this test, I want to make a public service announcement. It's a great idea to wear gloves when messing with these chemicals. You don't really know what these companies put in these things. So as we begin this kind of torture test, let's start by, of course, we have the Adams on the right, Megs on the left. It's been about 4 days, and I marked it because I'm not that smart and I'd probably forget. So let's look at the initial water beating, water sheeting of both of these products. Of course, we have our test panel in the middle. So you can see the bare clear coat there in the middle is beading a little bit, because bare clear coat does, but also sheeting. But you can see the nice round beads on both of these products. Again, we're talking about the Maguairs around the $15 range and the Adams around the $40 to $80 range, kind of depending on the size that you go for. But as far as water beading is concerned, after a cure time, just to reiterate, the Maguairs doesn't really have a cure time. The Adams is kind of vague on it, but you can still see at this point significant water beading. And a lot of you, or a few of you rather, have mentioned that, is water beading really that good? Water beading honestly is not good. I think you would rather have your clear coat do that because look at how much less water is on the surface just with bare clear coat than water beading. But that's here nor there. That's a story for another day, boys and girls. So that is what the application looks like fresh, and from what it looks like, you really can't tell which one is different. So let's get this off. Okay, so the first order of business that is up is the Griots iron and fallout remover. See if it has any impact on either one of these. I'm running low on my cleaners here and my iron removers, and this has just been a way to kind of suck up product that I'm not going to use in any other capacity. So if you have any suggestions for products, please leave a comment below. All right, let's rub this in. Not that you would rub in an iron remover, but again, this is a torture test and we're having fun here. We're trying to mimic what could happen. As you can see, it's a windy day today, and the camera probably picked that up. You saw the breeze come through and actually lift up the chemical and move it. So it's really not that far-fetched of an argument that when you spray stuff on your car, it is traveling to other parts of the car, which is why I do these torture tests, because you use products on the inside, the outside, heavy cleaners, and I just want to see what's breaking down our waxes, sealants, and potentially coatings. So let's rinse this off. And let me hit it with my wet towel. I think that the towel wipe, so I'll do it again on the Adams side as well. And I know we're only dealing with an iron fallout remover, but I noticed this when I did the other Adams one. If you look when I wipe the towel, right, you see how the water's kind of like sheeting off? And then when you wipe it on the bare clear coat, it's doing it, but not as fast. And that's a good example right there. Let's see. I think that is a good sign that there's something still there, still fighting it off. So let's see after that. So kind of per my earlier argument, if water beading isn't really good, what is good? Water sheeting. And why is water beading not good? Because it leaves a lot of water on your car. And when it rains or anything, any water comes in contact, if the water's staying on the surface, that's not really what you want. So this is interesting. We see the Adams has kind of definitely taken a beating. That water beating behavior is not there anymore. The Maguairs is still holding on to that, but the Adams has definitely taken a beating, and the Maguairs is holding up a little bit better. So let's dry this off. And now we're going to bring a new product into the game, and that is Optimum Power Clean. You see it here? It's a revolutionary product that is specially formulated and safely clean wheels and tires as well as other automotive surfaces except glass. It's eco-friendly, safe on vehicle surfaces, safe for the user. So this is the 17 ounce, using it straight from the bottle. So Power Clean was a recommendation from one of you, a listener, said, hey, can you try Optimum Power Clean to see if it removes anything? Has a nice pleasant scent, can be diluted 5:1 per the label says. So let it kind of dwell in there. So again, you may be degreasing your tires down, you may be spraying this on the front to remove bugs, maybe spraying it on the back to remove some sort of junk. This is, you know, I've definitely seen Optimum Power Clean sprayed on paint before. So if you are spraying it on paint, is it going to damage either one of these products? These tests are so fun, and honestly, I can't believe how well this panel is holding up. It's crazy. Toyota for life, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. This is and it's OEM paint, nothing aftermarket. I picked it up out of the junkyard, not out of the junkyard, out of the body shop. Swipe that off, or rinse that off rather. You hit it with the wet towel. So the process on that evaporation on the Maguairs side, like I was just talking about, after the iron and fallout remover, you could see how much more or how much slower that water's evaporating after the towel wipe. See that? It's still kind of doing it a little bit, but it's starting to look a lot more like that center panel. And the Adams seems to be doing it a little bit faster, but they're all starting to look kind of like that center panel, especially the Maguairs. Okay, we can see right here the Adams, if we look at it here, the Maguairs and the control panel are looking the same, while we see the Adams having a little bit less water on there. But let's hit it again with the water to see if there's any water beading or anything. So they both look really flat, and if you look at the evaporation rate, they're both evaporating at kind of the Adams is definitely going to be faster. So again, we've lost all hydrophobic properties. The Adams obviously sheeted really fast compared to both the other ones, and now the control panel and the Maguairs are sheeting at about the same rate. So an interesting point that I just thought about right now, you could see when I was using the blower, especially initially, I was able to get this panel almost completely dry without having to use a towel at all. And now you could see with a little bit more time spent behind the blower, the Adams side has less water, the control panel still has the most, the Maguairs has a little less, but the point is, across the board, there's significantly more water on the panel, or there was more, it was harder, excuse me, to get the water off the panel than with the water bead. So when we talk about water beading, yes, it's cool to see, but where, you know, it comes from the tunnel wash industry, because in a tunnel wash, when they sell those waxes or whatever at the end, the point is that they're spraying it on the car to make the water bead, and then they go through the blower, and it's a lot easier to get water off a car when it has beaded up, or it's a lot easier to blow water off a car when the water has beaded up versus the water sheeting off. So, little fun fact there. The water beading is not great for the car, if the water is going to stay on the car, water beading is good or can be beneficial rather if you're drying the car immediately. But if you're not going to dry the car immediately, you're going to have some water spot issues there. So just interesting thing to note. That's what's so fun about these tests, is there's always hidden tests going on, not because I'm brilliant, just because it is what it is. Like, how good is this green tape? Oh, the adhesion isn't breaking, right? Or we found out optimum no rinse will kind of make water bead a little bit and kind of mess with the test. We saw the Wax Shop's soap kind of make water go completely flat. So this will be the last one. This is super clean here. This will be the last product in the torture test, and then I have a little sneak peek thing that I want to mess with towards the end here. So, all right, let's get this residue off here. Wow, look at all that residue. I would pick Optimum Power Clean over Super Clean any day of the week. Super Clean is nasty to work with. Dries out your hands. Look at that though. That took a significant dump right there. Wowzers. Hit it with the wet towel. And again, the purpose of the wet towel is just to remove any remaining residue to get a true read on the surface. Now I want to get the hose back here. Let's see what we got going on. Do we have any water beading at all? I'd call that pretty dang flat there, boys and girls. Killed it, I think. What do you guys think? Leave me your opinions in the comments below. Though the Adams is trying to fight it pretty good. Again, this doesn't mean that there's nothing there. It just means, you know, for purposes of the test, this is kind of what I'm going by, is the water behavior. So, okay, so now that I think it's safe to say that we've killed both products, they're all kind of evaporating the same, let's again take the Maguairs ceramic hybrid wax and see if just simply, and this is just for fun, this is not me trying to pump Maguairs, this is simply for fun. I don't think this is the best way to even use this product, but it is recommended. Let's see if we just spray it on the panel. So if you have, say you have Adams as a base layer coat and you want to pick up something cheap, so you pick up the Maguairs hybrid ceramic just as a top coat kind of deal. Let's see if you just apply it like that. Say you lay down the Adams and you've got no water behavior anymore, right? Maybe you go through winter, it's horrible. You have no water behavior. Can you pick up just the Maguairs and kind of spray it on, rinse it off, which is not an application method I recommend, but it is suggested. I recommend using about half the amount that I just sprayed on that panel and rubbing it in to get full coverage. But let's just have fun. So let's see if we could get that water beading behavior back. And I think this is interesting. Look at how the Adams water beads came back a little bit more circular. Let me wipe it off with a wet towel. And the Maguairs did not come back nearly as circular as they were originally. So the Adams came back a little bit more circular. The Maguairs definitely not as circular as before. Let's wipe it with residue. Do this one more time, and this will kind of conclude the video here. That is really hard to tell. We actually got some water behavior out of both of them, so that's nice. I would definitely say, in my opinion, that the Adams water beading is a little bit more close to the original than the Maguairs was. But again, look at even that little last squirt right there. You can kind of doctor it a little bit if you choose to. I would venture to say that Adams is probably still there. I don't know. I would love to hear your guys' opinion in the comments below. Let me know which one you feel did better, and if you think the Adams is still there. All right, everyone, that concludes this video. What did you think? I'm interested to hear in what your thoughts were of not only this video, but of these two very interesting products. Did you like the Maguairs more? Did you think its beading was tighter? Did you like the shape of the beads, or was the Adams a little bit tighter of beads? And did you like those? Do you like the price point of the Maguairs better? Would you use it more often if it was cheaper? Would you sag back because the Adams is a little bit more expensive? What are your thoughts, feelings, opinions, emotions? I want to hear those in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you'll choose to hit that subscribe button and you can get alerted with more videos just like this. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. See ya.